Good afternoon, everyone. Today is July 2nd. It's Tuesday, July 2nd. We are convening a session of the Philadelphia Tax Review Board. My name is Melissa Andre, and I'm the Executive Director. With me today is our Chair, Paula Weiss, as well as all board members, George Matthews, Nancy Cameradiner, Ryan Boyer, and John O'Connor. Oh, John is gone, but he should be back. Today's category is Water Revenue Bureau. It is my responsibility to remind everybody to please be aware that this is a public hearing and it is being recorded. Because the meeting is public, participants and viewers have no expectation of privacy. And by continuing to be in this meeting, you are consenting to being recorded. This recording will also be posted on the Tax Review Board's website. At this time, I'm going to hand over control to our board chair, Paula Weiss, and I'm going to put into the room case number 1, East Rentals. Be right back.
Good afternoon, everyone. Tax Review Board hearings for July 2nd, 2024 are now in session. As Ms. Andre said, we are going to start with case number 1 on our docket, East Rentals LLC. Last 4 digits of the docket, 9746. The petitioner is in our offices, so we will give them an opportunity to come into the room.
Don't forget to keep your voice nice and loud, and the board is all here.
Okay. Thank you.
No, thank you.
All right. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Paula Weiss. I'm the chair of the Tax Review Board. Welcome. Could you state your name for the record, please, and spell your last name?
Teresa McCaskill, McCaskill.
Ms. McCaskill, do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth?
I do.
Thank you. We're going to start with the city's representative to have them put on the record the years and dollar amounts that you're questioning, and then we'll come back to you for you to tell us why you're here and what you're looking for from our board.
Okay.
So you can hear me clearly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so just we're going to get started. Who has this matter for the city?
I do, and I have the representative, Ms. Taliba Hike.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Hike, I'm going to swear you in. Could you state your name and position for the record, please?
Oh, Taliba, you're on mute.
We can't hear you.
Sorry, my name is Taliba Hike, and I'm with Water Revenue Bureau's Adjudications Unit.
Ms. Hike, do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Could you give us the dollar amounts and time periods at issue?
Yes, the petitioner is questioning the periods from January 30th, 2015 through April 17th, 2019. Principal amount of $12,518.50. There is $571.48 in penalties, as well as $274.35 in liens, totaling $13,364.33.
Thank you. Ms. Williams, do you have any opening comments before I turn to the petitioner?
The city would just like to inform the board that this matter, I do believe Ms. McCaskill is a renter on the property. However, I do believe she is authorized to step in for this matter at this time, and that would be all.
And so you don't have any objection, is what you're telling me?
No, we do not.
Okay, thank you. All right, Ms. McCaskill, well, let me start with the city's first inquiry, and that is, are you the owner of this property at 516-18 East Washington Lane?
No, ma'am.
No. And what is your affiliation then with the property?
I rent the building.
Okay. And do you have authorization from the owner to be here representing them with regard to this bill?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know. Do you have something in writing?
I do.
Okay. I guess, Ms. Andre, could you get that so that we have it in our records and we can provide it to the city as well?
Thank you.
Okay. So hold on a second.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Ms. McCaskill. Okay. So why don't you start with what is the problem as you see it? You know, what is it that kind of relief are you looking for from the board?
Okay. I just want to say thank everybody here for taking time out to listen to myself as a consumer and also as a business owner in the city of Philadelphia. The reason why I'm here today is because this has been going on for years. there has been an issue with the ERT and the water meter since the dates that the young lady stated, right? I have been calling and calling and calling and asking them to come out to change the water meter. I know the difference between the water meter and the ERT, right? There's two different things.
Yeah, good for
Okay.
you. Very few people know that.
No,
That's very impressive, quite
I've been
honestly.
doing it. I've been in this thing for so long. I done did my research. I understand. I called the water company. I spoke to representatives there. I called the city. I spoke to my council person there. And I know the difference between a ERT and a water meter. Okay, so when I noticed that the water company had came out because I called them because they came out initially because there was no readings.
And can you
Okay.
tell us when that was? Do you know?
That was like in 2019 or 2020 or
Yep.
something like that.
Okay.
Somewhere around that time.
Mhm.
And I called them and they came out and I said, there's no readings on the meter. And then, no, something was going on with the meter. I can't remember exactly what I know. The water company came out. They changed the water meter one time. Then they came out again and they changed the water meter. I said, why are you guys coming back? They changed the ERT, not the water meter.
Wait,
I
so the first time they actually changed the meter as far as
They
you?
never changed.
No, they
the
changed
meter.
the ERT. They
It's
They
changed the
changed the
ERT
ERT twice or one time? I'm
They
sorry.
changed the ERT three
Twice.
times. If I'm 3 times, they changed it. Three.
Or yeah, go ahead.
They changed the ERT 3 times because the first time they came out, they said it wasn't reading. The second time they say, well, if you don't get any readings or if something is abnormal, you need to call us back. I called them back and I said, I got a high reading. They said, well, you have to wait until we take the meter out so that we can get the readings from the meter and then you will get your bill. That's when the $12,000 bill came in. I said, did you guys change the meter? Because you guys keep coming to change the meter, but I didn't understand at that time, they were not changing the meter. They were only changing the ERT. And what I did is I went and I made a copy and my grandbaby, I had clear pictures for y'all, but she spilled stuff on my stuff, okay? But if somebody, the original meter that is in right now is 029-3809. That meter has never been changed ever since I've been there. And I'm the one that was calling once they came out and I said something must
Excuse
be
me, ma'am. I'm sorry. You said since you've been there. What since you've been there? When did you come there?
20, I believe it was like 2015 or
2015? Okay.
2016, somewhere in there.
I'm just trying to get a time frame. I'm sorry.
It's never been changed. And not only that, but I went down and this right here, it shows you that on all of these notices.
So we can't see that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We can't see that.
Somebody's gonna come get, but look.
But you
all
can
of
just
the
tell us,
notices-
you need to tell us what is it that you're showing us?
Okay, all of these notices right here, you know how you call and say, I'm having a problem with my meter? And
Yes.
I had a stack of these like this. They kept saying, somebody's going to come out. Somebody's going to do an inquiry. Somebody's going to do an inquiry. They never did. This is from 2019 to 2023. Okay, I have those. And I kept calling and calling and calling. Here you go. I kept calling and calling and they kept sending those out, right? So I said, I'm tired of this. So I called back again. I said, guys, I have to come back. I cannot afford to keep paying lump sums of money to get on payment plans when they never changed the meter. I spoke to a supervisor in the meter department. And here it is. I spoke to a supervisor in the meter department, and this is what he responded to me. His number is 215-432-1106. This was March the 11th, 2020 at 6:28 a.m. It says, good morning. You already have a dispute filed and a date with the tax review board. The meter shop already installed a new meter. You are going to need the 30-day readings after that meter was installed to compare with the previous readings. they never changed the meter. And everybody keeps
Could
telling
you
me.
tell
and
us the date of that notice that you just, or that
Mhm.
email? When was
It
that?
is March the 11th, 2020.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay. And that's when I believe sometime around that time is when I got that big, huge bill for $12,000. And what I did is I further did more research and I looked on here and you can see how many times they changed the earth. They never changed the meter. They always change the earth. And I said to the supervisor, when are you guys going to change the meter? Because from my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, everybody, because you guys know more than I do. If I'm not mistaken, the earth takes the readings from the meter. The earth is then the waves is transmitted to the person on the street to take the readings. So if the meter is no good, or if the meter is outdated, or if the meter is old, giving out faulty readings, how can you get an accurate finding from the earth? It's impossible. It's impossible. How can you tell me that the earth has not been, the meter has not been giving proper readings to the earth? It's been 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And then you come and put a new one in, and then you're going to tell me I owe $12,000. How can you tell me how much I owe if the meter is not reading, if it's
Well-
not giving accurate readings to the earth?
Sometimes, and we haven't heard from the city yet, just for explanation. Sometimes it's not that the meter's not working, it's that the ERT is not working. And so it's not sending the readings out, but the readings are there on the meter. Now I'm just for purposes of explanation purpose. So the meter could be working, the ERT is not transmitting the numbers. So, we're going to hear from the city, but we certainly understand what you're saying. Can
And
I ask you a
then-
question before you go on? Could you tell us a little bit about this property? What is it exactly? What use you have for it?
It was used as a daycare center,
Okay,
in the basement. The basement area is zoned for childcare. The daycare has not been open since March of 2019 during COVID. They shut us down. The state shut us down, and I have never reopened.
okay. And the rest of the building?
The rest of the building is 2 people on the 3rd floor.
Okay, so it's an apartment,
2
residential,
guys, yes.
residential, yeah.
No children, just 2 individual guys. And the
Okay.
rest is like storage, and my office is on the 2nd floor. And that's it. It's nothing else in the building. And one of the other things that was really concerning for me is the mere fact that I keep saying over and over and over again, how in the world do you get a bill? They gave me a printout, which was really good. And I called to get a new meter installed because the owner of the building, he said, Teresa, they're trying to reach you to install a new meter. I called the meter department right here. They told me that you're not on the list to be changed for a meter. They said you're not on the list. I tried to find out why. I gave them all the addresses and they told me you're not on the list to have your meter changed. This meter has never been changed. It's the same meter. So one of the things that I was really upset about is when they came out to change the meter, okay, they changed the meter sometime around April 2019.
The
That's
ERT,
when I got the bill.
they changed the ERT.
The ERT, they changed the ERT around April, and I got a bill for $12,000, right? That's a new one. I got an abnormal reading of $2,400 in December. I got another abnormal reading in January of 2020. So how is it that they keep putting these ERTs in and I keep getting abnormal high readings, and it was no kids in the building, so they can't
Okay.
say, oh, no kids.
Got it. So I'm going to ask you one more question and we're going to turn to the city and see what they have to say about all of this. 'Cause I think we understand.
Mhm.
Have you ever, during this period of time, experienced plumbing issues? Have you had any leaks?
Nope, nothing.
You had a plumber in to look
Yes,
at the
ma'am.
building?
That
Okay.
was one of the things that I had to do. He had to come out, he had to put blue ink in the toilets, and he had to let everything run. And if there was leaks, he said, we'll be able to see if it's leaks from the blue. I was like, why are you pouring blue
Yeah.
ink in the toilets? He poured the blue ink in, it was no leaks anywhere. No.
Okay, got it. Thank you. And we're gonna turn now to Ms. Williams for the city's information, and then we'll see where we are. We'll come back to you, and you'll have an opportunity to ask questions as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Hyke, have you had an opportunity to review this property's water account?
Yes,
Okay, and to your knowledge, East Rentals LLC is the owner, correct?
yes.
Okay, and how were you able to verify this information?
Through by the deed and the
Okay.
papers.
So as you've heard, the period that is being contested is from 2015, so 2019. During that period in question, what charges appeared on the customer's bill for that time?
Stormwater usage and service.
And were those charges actual or estimated?
Estimated.
Can I just clarify the entire period of time? There was no usage?
You mean the zero usage period?
Yeah, what was the zero usage period?
Give me a second. The zero usage period was from 1/30 2015 through we're gonna say 4/17 because they was able to get an extra read of 4/19.
19. Okay, so that is the entire period. Okay, go
Yes.
ahead.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, and so for that zero usage period, what was the cause for the zero usage?
A faulty ERT.
Okay. And as you've heard, an ERT and a meter are two separate things. Would you please explain how the meter transfers the information to the ERT?
As the petitioner stated, the water meter registers the water usage. The water usage is then electronically submitted by the transmitter, and it's transmitted outside of the property to the technicians, and so that therefore the taxpayer is able to be billed for the water usage.
Okay, and so the customer stated that the ERT was changed twice. Would you please state the dates that the ERT was changed on the property?
Yes.
It was 3.
January 30th, 2015. And April 17th, 2019. And again on January 21st, 2020.
Okay. And so throughout that 4-year period, as you've heard the petitioner say, the petitioner stated that she had been calling and calling. To your knowledge, are there any records that during the period in dispute for those 4 years, the water customer made contact with the Water Revenue Department?
It looks like I don't see any contact that she never called or made contact with PWD until after the period of dispute.
Okay, and during the period between 2015 and 2019, PWD notified the water customer that they were getting zero usage estimate bills, correct?
Yes, a letter was generated and sent out to the taxpayer.
Okay, and throughout that period, how was the water customer's payment history?
Um, Very sporadic, it's payments here and there.
Okay, and when was the last payment made on the account?
As of today, the last payment on the account was May 30th, 2024.
All right. Thank you. No further questions.
Okay. Any other evidence you want to put into the record, Ms. Williams?
Not at this time, no, thank you.
Okay. Ms. McCaskill, is there any questions you have for the city's representative?
Yes, she stated that she don't have record that I called. I called several times. The papers that are generated that I gave the young lady, I called several times in reference to this issue. I've been dealing with this issue since 2015, 2019. I've been dealing with this issue for a long time. I admitted to them, my administrator paid all of the bills for the daycare, okay? I did not notice that she was only paying, it was not reading, she was paying what, $27? You can see that I paid that, like I paid the 20, I was not aware that it was not picking up. I am able to admit to what I do. I didn't understand it, but when I found out, when they start coming back and forth, I said something's wrong. And I said, why are you coming? When Miss Francis called me and said, Teresa, they here again. I went and I said, why are you guys here again? And he said, well, we have to change your, they said meter. They didn't say earth, they said meter. Okay. So that's why I thought they were changing the meter. They said, we have to change the meter again. I called them the second time because I noticed that some of it was still skipping. And then I got another large bill. I got like 2 large bills back to back. This is my thing, guys, right? I no longer have any of my daycare centers open. All of my daycares, all 4 of my daycare centers have been closed down since COVID. I was never able to regroup and to get these places up and running again. I can't afford to keep coming here and paying large lump sums of money for down payments to get a payment arrangement. I paid almost what, $10,000 to $12,000 on down payments and payment arrangements, $4,500, $750. I had to pay $1,400. I had to pay $2,700. I don't have that kind of money anymore. I'm on welfare now. I get food stamps. I don't have that kind of money anymore. I'm trying to understand, why is this bill still $13,000 after all of the money that I put out? Because the bills are abnormal and they were still going up and down. So all of the money that I put in, it's not reflective. This bill is not reflective.
Ms.
Ms.
Hike,
Yes.
I see that we have the water sewer account statement showing the payments. Could we put that into the record? Can either you or Ms. Williams share your screen so that we can see the payments?
Sure, I can share it if you like.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
And I
guess,
did have a question for Ms. McCaskill, if I may.
oh, go right ahead.
Thank you. Ms. McCaskill, I know you stated that the daycare is in the basement. As far as the tenants who reside in the upper apartments, they're on the same meter, correct?
Yes.
So you share the same water responsibilities as the other tenants, correct?
Absolutely.
So at what point in your lease agreement with East Falls Rental do you assume the entire water bill?
Because I rent the entire building.
Okay, so do you receive rents from the tenants who occupy the upper buildings?
The rent is paid to East Rentals, yes.
Okay, can we
Okay,
see,
thank you.
Ms. Hike,
Yes,
19 and 20? I mean, I see that there are large payments on the account.
yeah, there are
Have
payments.
those in the record, large
Yeah.
dollars. And did some of that money go to penalty as well as to principal? Can you tell me that?
Mm-mm.
Let's see.
Mm-mm.
Well, when the payments are applied, it's just applied to the balance at whole.
But the balance includes penalties, is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes,
Okay,
yes, ma'am.
so some of that money did go towards penalty, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, yes. Ma'am.
Okay, that was my question.
Yes.
I don't have any other questions. I don't know if any of my board members have any questions. Hearing none. Do we want to step back and deliberate?
Can I just say one other thing before you guys leave?
Sure. Thank you, Taliba. We don't need to see that, I guess, again.
I just want to say at this point right here, I don't have anything else. If this doesn't go well for me, I can't afford another large down payment. I don't have that kind of money anymore. I had it when my daycares were open, but I don't have that anymore. I haven't gotten food stamps since my son was an infant and he's 35 years old. I don't have that kind of money anymore. I've been trying to keep up with this. I've been paying this. And I don't live in this building. You know what I mean? I still have a home. Like, I don't live here and I can't lose this building because I put so much into it and I'm trying to get another business up and running, but I don't have any more money to keep putting $4,000 and $5,000 down on these down payments. And nobody is understanding that there was something wrong with the meter. Like, everybody keeps going past that there was something wrong with this meter because you wouldn't keep getting these numbers up and down, up and down. Even when you put a new one in, you still get abnormal readings. When you put the other one in, you still get abnormal readings. Why would I be using $2,500 worth of water?
All right, we really do see what you're talking about. So take a breath. We're gonna step aside
Okay.
and talk as a group, among the board members, and we'll be
Thank
back.
you.
All right, everyone, hold tight. Just opening up the other room.
Do I go out?
No, you stay right there. It's a virtual room. Where's my board? Did I lose them? There we go.
Recording in progress.
Great. Everyone is back, Paula, but your camera is off. Okay.
Sorry, I got stuck somehow. Okay, the tax review board is back in session. We did discuss all of the information and evidence put on by both the taxpayer and the city. Ms. McCaskill, we really do understand your dilemma, we believe, and you know, that you have worked earnestly to try to resolve this. And at this point in time, we're going to issue an interim directive or an interim decision, and then request that the parties reconvene here in front of us on a date certain, July 30th, in order to assess where we are. And that, Ms. McCaskill, you'll have an option to either come in again on July 30th or Zoom. But here is what we're determining. We're directing the Water Revenue Bureau to reduce the usage for the period 1/30/2015 to 4/17/2019 based on 1,000 cubic feet per month. So that reduces the usage for that period in question. We are also directing that all penalties paid and unpaid for that same period of time be abated. Any monies that you have paid in that went to penalties are to be reapplied to the principal amount due. Because we do see in the account history that you have paid significant sums as you testified to. The city's records do reflect that as well. We want to be sure that you are getting credit for all of those payments and that all of those payments are going to principal amount, not to penalties at this point in time for the period of time that's in question from 2015 to 2019. Ms. Hike, did you get all of that?
Should actually be Miss Williams.
I'm sorry, Ms. Williams,
Miss Hike, you're on mute still.
but Ms. Hike is the one who's going to probably do the,
Miss Hike still on mute.
I'm sorry, thank you, Melissa. You're requesting the taxpayer to be rebilled for the period in question at 1,000 cubic feet per month and to have the penalties abated at 100%.
and on
Not
any,
to
and any
exceed, not
pays,
to exceed 1,000 cc,
right,
not to
1,000
exceed.
per
I
month.
think Saliba, I
And
think there's a distinction though about abating the penalties 100%. It's both the penalties that already have been paid as well as the ones that remain unpaid and assessed to the account during that period, going back to the beginning.
Okay.
This
Yes,
is
and
a
that
little
any
bit
of
more
those
nuanced.
monies, all those monies that were applied to penalties should be reapplied to principal for that period of time.
I'm indicating it and I'll have it sent to accounting.
Okay, and then we're going to reconvene on July 30th so that we can see from water revenue what that actually looks like for this taxpayer, what that actually does for the billing before we issue a final decision in this matter.
So we're going to re-intervene when?
We're going to reconvene July 30th, 2 o'clock. A
Okay.
normal
It'll
tax review
just be a
board day.
status hearing.
It'll be a status hearing. It will not be to take more evidence or to have a full hearing, but we would like to have that recalculation provided to the board so that we can then make a final ruling in this matter.
Okay.
Okay,
All right, I'll forward the adjustment to accounting on Monday.
thank you. Ms. McCaskill, did you understand what we just have been discussing and ordering?
A little bit,
Okay.
not, yeah.
I
Not
can explain
entirely.
it to you.
So-
I can explain it to you.
All right,
Okay, okay, all right.
All right, so
I'm gonna
you're,
put the
so
next
we're
meeting.
gonna, right, so that's the end of this hearing for today. We're gonna meet again on July 30th. You can either come in person as you are today, or you'll have an option to Zoom if that's easier for you, so that we can see what the new calculation looks like. It should be a substantial reduction for you, but we want to see how that all shakes out before we issue a final ruling in this matter, because we really did hear, you know, what it is that you were telling us has been happening at this property during this period of time. Okay?
Thank you.
You will get a letter from the board, though, confirming that July 30th is a status hearing with the option to come in person or to Zoom in on us.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for
so
coming
much,
in.
everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
All right.
And I do believe we have another, that's all. Thank you, Ms. McCaskill. That
Now
we
we
do
have to concur, right? George Matthews, I concur.
Oh, thank you, George.
Brian Boyer, I concur.
John,
Nancy Camerodiner, I concur.
John, you're on mute. Oh, thumbs up. And Paula Weiss,
We're
I
having
concur.
days with John.
Thank you,
Okay.
George.
Good.
All right, so we do have another taxpayer, I believe, who is here, another petitioner.
Yes, case number 4, Hart, 5626 Wimby.
All right, so we're gonna move on to Corinthia Hart, and the last 4 digits of the docket are, hold on, 9909.
You have a seat right here. Keep your voice nice and loud. And the board, yeah, the middle one is probably better. Keep your voice nice and loud, okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Paula Weiss, Chair of the Tax Review Board. And could you please state your name for the record and spell your last name?
Corinthia Hart, H-A-R-T.
Thank you. Ms. Hart, do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth?
I do.
Thank you. We're going to turn to the city representatives right now for them to provide us with the time period and dollar amounts in question, and then we'll come back to you for you to explain to us why you're here and what you're looking for from this board.
Okay.
Give me one moment, please. I'm sorry.
Ms. Williams?
I believe Ms. Hike is gonna provide those numbers in the time period.
Yep, I'm coming.
Okay.
All right. All right. The petitioner is questioning the period from November 14th through 2006. Let's see. Nope, okay, November 14th, 2006 through November 8th, 2021. Principal amount is $15,019.40. There is $911.15 in penalties, totaling $15,931.52.
Okay. Ms. Williams, any opening comments?
Just that, as I know, this is a de novo matter, but at this time, that $15,000 bill has been reduced to $411 at this moment. The petitioner is completely starting over with the back bill of the 15,000 plus balance, and I would just like to
Wait,
note
I'm
that,
You know what? Your audio is going in and out. It's been reduced to $411. Why?
but, so her current payment, her current outstanding balance is $411 after an additional adjustment has been made. However, at this point, the city would be starting completely over with the back bill at the $15,000 mark.
Okay, so that's the correct dollar amount then.
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right. Any other comments?
Hold on, I'm confused. Is the bill for the city 411 or 15,000?
It's 15,000.
But the adjustment was made, and now you're saying you want to take the adjustment back?
No, it's starting over because that adjustment was made at the master level. And so at this point.
Oh,
we
she
are
didn't
saying-
take it. Oh, I got you. I
Exactly. So
that I
I
understand.
don't know if those numbers
yeah, I
were
don't
provided
know.
because when I
Yeah.
originally received this matter, I had a $400 balance. So you all have that. I wanted to clarify for the record that we're
Oh.
starting at the back bill
I
balance.
got it. Thank you, Ms. Williams. I
Thank you.
appreciate you. Thank you.
For the record, I do want to note that the first TRB decision was rendered on March 27th of 2023, and it covered this entire period. It abated 100% of the penalty, and the usage was adjusted for those same periods based on zero CCFs per month. Additionally, the petitioner appealed the matter, not the city.
Okay.
I want to, can I talk to the petitioner?
Please.
I can't, I'm sorry.
Hmm?
I just want to know why the petitioner, did she mean to appeal? She won.
Ms. Hart,
Yes.
our question is, this is the second time that you have been down here for a hearing, is that correct?
No, I've been here more than once, but
Been here more than once. And at the prior hearing, Mr. Boyer's question has to do with the decision that you got, which was 100% of the penalty was abated and all of the usage was abated, and you appealed that. Is that correct?
right, because it was still
I still had a high amount to pay,
$411 according to the city's records.
not according to mine.
Okay, so what bill do you have following that decision that has caused you to want us to continue reviewing this?
Cause I paid something like, I don't know, seems like hundreds of dollars, and it's still like $600 according to these bills.
Okay,
In
What-
this, I just really want to help the petitioner understand what is happening to save everyone this moment, because she does have it at this moment. Our records indicate $411.69, Ms. Hart. That bill has been
$411.
and
And
69 cents. Yes, ma'am.
you saying that's the balance?
Yes,
That's the
what's the
balance
balance.
that
If
we
you
have.
don't go through with this trial, your balance is only $411.69. But if you go through with this, we starting at 15,000. That's why I wanted to make sure that you understood. And I think Ms. Williams so graciously from the city saying she wants you to understand where you are right now. That if
Okay,
you don't do anything, you have $411.69. But if you start this process, then we have to look at it as a $15,000 process.
Okay,
I don't think you want to do that.
no, I don't.
okay, so you're saying now that you are satisfied with the decision you received at the hearing officer level?
Yes,
Yes. So I think then what I'm gonna ask is that this board reaffirm the decision made by our hearing officer and not without the need to take additional.
I think it would be
I don't
no
know,
action
Melissa, you're making up
necessary
your
because we
face.
already saw it. It would have really should have been appealed to common pleas because the whole board already heard it.
Did we, or was
No.
that a no, hearing officer?
It
Well,
was a hearing, it was a departmental level case.
Oh, okay.
We haven't,
Well, we reaffirm the departmental level. Ryan Boy, I concur.
George Matthews, I concur.
John is got a thumbs up. Nancy? Thumbs up. Paula Weiss, I concur. So, Ms. Williams, we are gonna thank you so much for your information. And Ms. Hart, we are gonna reaffirm the decision made by the hearing officer, which confirms that from the city that bill of $15,000 was reduced to $411 and some change. And you're gonna get a letter from the tax review board with that information that this decision was affirmed. I guess another bill will follow, Ms. Hiker, Ms. Williams.
okay, so I do have a bill here for $600.
And that is because, is that for the time period in front of us?
Um,
No,
yeah.
Ms. Williams is shaking her head,
Okay.
no.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. What time period does that cover?
I don't know, it just says my last bill.
All right, well, that may be
All
for
I'm saying
periods
from-
outside, that might be for periods outside of the appealed period, yes.
This bill is saying that there's a disputed amount of $1,000.
Hmm.
That it's about $626. That's the balance. This is very strange. Zero usage, and it's dated June 13th of 2024.
All right,
But-
so I'm gonna interrupt you for a second and just put on the record again that the period that we're discussing ended on November 8th, 2021. So if
Mhm.
there are amounts due following that, they would not have been covered by this decision.
That's true. As of right now, as of the June 13th, 2024 bill, it looked like she's just, all that was due at the time was $57.
Okay, and so Ms. Williams has put on the record that for the period in front of us, the bill is $411. So that's the result of our hearing officer decision, and that's what we have affirmed,
Okay,
okay? You'll get a letter from the tax review board with that information. You'll get an adjusted bill, reflecting that from the Water Revenue Bureau, and you'll have 30 days in which to enter into a payment agreement in order to pay off that balance.
for the 411,
Yes,
all right.
So
okay?
is this no action needed?
I'm sorry.
No. This is we are reaffirming our hearing officer level decision.
All
We're
right.
affirming, not reaffirming. We're affirming. And that was our decision. We're gonna,
All right, so once that's paid off, I'll just get the storm charges.
well, that depends on what's happening at the property. We can't answer questions about what happens going forward. We can only deal with the period that's under appeal.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you.
All right. Ms. Andre?
It's approximately 3:01. There is nobody here at the 100 South Broad Street address here, and then there's nobody in our virtual waiting room. So I think we can call it.
All right, so we've got some other cases that we just need to administratively deal with. And we're gonna start with case number 2, Stephen Frempong, 2030 East Rittenhouse Street, last 4 digits of the docket 9970. We are gonna deny this for failure to, I'm gonna recommend this be denied for failure to appear. Has this had other hearings in front of the full board, Ms. Andre?
It has. There've been continuances on both the petitioner side for medical reasons, as well as there was this whole list was picked up from April when the tax review board's offices were closed due to a water main break. So the
Mhm.
last continuance was because of an administrative situation.
Does this warrant a no further continuances or no further hearings notif?
I leave
I
it to
would
you.
propose it does. This petitioner in particular has a history of FTA on top of the fact this was a rehearing that was granted.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Then I am going to suggest that this be denied for failure to appear, no further hearings in this matter. Can I get concurrence or any conversation? John O'Connor has a thumbs up. Nancy? Thumbs up. Ryan? Is Ryan still with us?
No, Ryan has left.
Okay, George?
George Matthews, I concur.
Always, I concur. We're gonna move on to case number 3, Terrence Posey, last 4 digits of the docket, 9785, also a denied for failure to appear. Ms. Andre, has this been listed before us previously?
It has. The first listing was a failure to appear, requested a continuance, I mean, a rehearing. Then there was a decision. And he appealed that, and this is the first listing. No, this is the second listing, but again, the first listing before the board was an administrative closure. So he has one failure to appear
In front of the board or in front of the hearing officer?
in front of the hearing officer.
Okay, so this will be, then I guess I'm gonna recommend this be denied for failure to appear with no additional comments.
I'm sorry.
John? Nancy? George?
We need to
George Matthews, I concur.
Always, I concur. Ms. Williams, did you have anything you wanted to say about this?
I don't object, no.
I had a
Okay,
question.
so this
I had a
matters.
question about the Washington Lane address, the decision. Is it
Yeah.
not to exceed 1,000 cubic feet total or 1,000 cubic feet per month?
Per month, per month.
Okay. All right. Okay, thank you.
So Terrence Posey is denied for failure to appear. We're gonna move on to case number 5, which is JLD Investments LLC. Last 4 digits of the docket 9766. Denied for failure to appear. Ms. Andre, is this a first listing in front of
This is
us?
the first
Yes.
listing before the board.
All right, so I'm gonna recommend denied for failure to appear. John O'Connor. Thumbs up. Nancy Cameradiner, thumbs up. George?
I concur.
Thank you. Paula Weiss, I concur as well. So that case is denied for failure to appear. And then case number 6, Steve and Agnes Frempong, last 4 digits of the docket 9762. Denied for failure to appear. Ms. Andre, is this a first listing in front of the board
This
or?
is a first listing in front of the board. This is not a case that was listed on that same day, it's just the first listing before the board.
Mm. All right, so I'm gonna recommend denied for failure to appear. John O'Connor, thumbs up. Nancy Cameradiner agrees as well. George?
I concur.
Thank you, and Paula Weiss, I concur. So I think that concludes our docket for today. Anything that I've missed, Melissa?
No, I don't.
No. All right, so that concludes the Tax Review Board matters for today. Happy 4th of July.
Thank you. Bye. See you, everyone. Happy holidays.
Thank you,
Yeah.
everyone.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, thank you.
Bye.